Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Daytime temps, 10 degrees. There she blows. Alright, so I'm staying over tonight, Friday. What is this wire hanging here, and why do I have it shoved up into that tube? Well, let's go down and take a look. So, I've been busy. I didn't film any of this. I mentioned it to my Patreon members, so if you're a Patreon member, you would know this. So, I added this fairly heavy gauge wire to the ground of my charge controller. Also added another of the same type and size wire grounding my new pure sine wave inverter, and I ran all of them to this bus bar. So this is a ground bus bar, and it's isolated from the wood via that white plastic on there. This guy in the middle is the wire, same gauge wire and everything. It's going to be going it's actually right here hanging in front of the camera. It's going to be going outside, and I'll be driving a rod into the ground and attaching the bare wire to that rod. So then my entire off-the-grid solar setup here will be then grounded finally and properly. Got some warnings about ungrounded system, and I guess I thought I better get a little more safer. Also, I asked my good buddy Stu, what do I need for a fuse for the new inverter? So he came up with the number magically, 250 amps, and I just so happen to have two 250 amp fuses. Ceramic, quality ceramic. Both are 250. All I needed to do was, unfortunately, I had to buy the proper fuse holder for those certain types. So I got one. I ordered one of those for like 10 bucks. Wasn't bad. And then I'll have to rewire and wire that in down here after my switch. So there's the switch that's hooked up to the inverter that shuts power on and off to it. Cut that in the middle about there, put the fuse holder on, good to go. I think that'll be work good. Now the only other thing that I haven't done is a battery box, which I'm going to have to build one for safety as well, because we're trying to think long-term safety here at the Off-Grid Tiny House. Now eventually I want to get 2 more batteries, so that's kind of why I'm putting off the battery box, because if I get 2 more, have them all in parallel, then I'll rip all this crap out of here, build a proper box from scratch, and show you that process. So guys, please consider becoming a Patreon member or a one-time donation over on my Patreon page, the Off-Grid Tiny House on Patreon. You can find me, links to that in the description below, on my main channel page, on and on and on, because that funding is going to go towards this project where we can get this tiny house buttoned up, cleaned up, looking a hell of a lot better than it is. But for right now, function over form. And battery is happily topped off and going strong. So I got the entertainment set up on and charging right now. That little red light in there, recharging the speakers. But other than that, what else did I do at the tiny house, guys? Well, quite a bit. Moved some stuff off the fireplace and found some stuff. Now this piece here and 90 is over at my dad's trailer for storage, but this is all going to be coming out. So I took photos of this guy, Cubic Mini Grizzly, and and the stack and everything. And these are going to be going up for sale. However, I did go to the Restore, which is like a Habitat for Humanity store where they sell used hardware. So I was looking for windows. No luck. This is like 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches hole. And this one's about a foot by a foot hole. Obviously gonna have to put a bigger window in because stuck with that, right? Now, over here, guys, turn the light on. I am now in rain capture mode. So this has been turned off instead of horizontal. And my bypass is off. So next rainfall, I actually changed out the bypass in here as well. Cleaned everything out. It wasn't too bad actually for a season. I have yet to clean this mesh here because we haven't really been capturing anything because it's all been bypassing. So I'll clean this guy after our first big rainfall. But anyways, once the big rain comes, this bad boy is going to go and start filling up my tank again. Then I'm going to treat it with bleach up here. And eventually, once it builds up a nice level, I'll pump it up into the top tank here where the mirror is hanging. Hey! And then this is all gravity fed to the tiny house. So my sink, my washer, my shower, the on-demand that I'm going to be putting back in so I can have nice hot showers. Test out my new dryer in combination with my washer. And I think we'll be golden, guys. I like it. So other than that, I left the towels down here just in case I have any leaks. But I cranked the bigger one with my big water pump pliers. And I just did hand tight down below there. So I'm hoping the Teflon has held still. So no leaky leaks. And all the gas is shut off outside and in here on my little setup, so should be all right. Wind turbine, 12.2. I disconnected the heating elements, so they're just laying down in there. So this thing is basically doing nothing. Other than the fan, I think, is still hooked up on the composting toilet. And that's about all she wrote. So there's that. Other than that, guys, I think we're okay. We're doing okay. And yes, this stuff will be cleaned up and moved eventually. Like I mentioned, I want to think about moving this wall to about this side of this window and extending that out. But the problem with that is kind of a big problem because well, actually I may move this wall over here as opposed to just extending it forward, because if I move the elliptical and such, I'll go up to about here just before this new window gets cut in, stop, and then just have like a small little cross piece, so the heat will hit this wall, but basically, mostly, and the heat will have to travel around this way into the new bathroom area, something like that. I'm not entirely sure yet, just my thoughts on layout. But definitely going to extend the bathroom area. Much needed. Much needed. Not entirely sure yet. You guys can drop me some hints for sure. But anyways, yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one.